There is a fork now waiting for us there. Digital transformation. You've talked about approaching it humbly, approaching it with open eyes, looking for answers. When you come into a bank like Techcom, you are obviously expanding the target base using digital, right? You need to redo businesses. Within Techcom, there is a few different entities, right?
Yeah.
They are at their different maturities from an infrastructure. They have different tech debt. They have different cultures. How do you come in and transform a complex organization like this? Walk us 3 parts. Day one.
I think the first day, T minus 3 months,
Yes.
is joining the right team,
Yeah.
right? And I think that has been the most fundamental decision of the decision to join Techcom Bank, right? I think is joining a team, joining a leader, right, who really understands that to make this work, you will need to get rid of all of these things at the pace you believe, right, is required to make that change, right? So I think just being with that team, because it's, a single, single soldier, a single Rambo, I think might be, very, good in movies. But I think in large organizations, you need, a group of people to influence that change. Right. So I think fundamentally, that's what I believe, that join the right team who believe in some of the core principles. So I think when this team came together as this part of the transformation for the bank, we were very clear about data, digital, talent. 3 things that we believe if you get right, it is technology can be copied, right? But if you do not put the right processes around it, if you don't have the right people working in the, the right ways, right, on agile marketing, agile, development, product and digital coming together. If you don't put a lot of these processes together, technology, some vendor solution will be copied in 6 to 9 months, but that, competitive advantage can never be gained. So with that, I think the first few things that we did was to try to get away on the biggest stumbling blocks that we knew will happen. So cleaned up the data, put in the right governance, put in the right AI decisioning, full value chain of how it needs to be built, tested, and governed, right? We put in new front-end engagement systems, both for the direct to customers, for our agents, right? Cleaned up a lot of things, how our internal people are using internal tools, right? Modernize that. And as we go along, move to the cloud, so that we can scale up when we need. And as we go along, we are now evaluating how do we treat our core, right? And how do we, really modernize that? So I think these are big decisions, cannot be taken in half measures. You need to put in the money. You need to have a board that supports you. You need to have a management team that pushes it.
I was about to ask you a question, and I think you've already answered that. A lot of times, the challenge I see with something with digital is that you come up with something very indigenous, very innovative. It takes 3 months for anybody else to come up with it. Now, when I was hearing you out, I was like, oh, you know what? That question is no longer relevant, because how you are approaching this is you are not only approaching it from a digital platform, but also the magic in the back and middle office and the enabling ecosystem.